Good evening. Audience members and honored guests may please be seated. Graduates, I would ask that you remain standing to honor and pay tribute to your family and friends for their love and support.
Graduates, please be seated. Good evening, esteemed guests, proud parents, dedicated faculty, and of course, the remarkable class of 2024. Welcome to the Troy College and Career High School Graduation Commencement Program. My name is Angela Milanov, and I am incredibly proud to stand here today as the principal of Troy College and Career High School. Today, we gather to celebrate a significant milestone. Graduates, as you prepare to leave the halls of Troy College and Career High School, I want to share with you some thoughts on the power of believing. We stand on the brink of new beginnings, looking back on years filled with learning, growth, and friendship. Throughout high school, there were countless moments where belief, or sometimes lack of it, shaped your path. To find belief through doubt, many of you received help and guidance from our all-star team of TCC. This exponential staff goes above and beyond to ensure we maintain a culture of belonging and, more importantly, family. Because once you are a graduate, you are never alone. We are always here to guide and support you. Most importantly, we want to continue hearing about your successes throughout your journey into adulthood. I would like to introduce this all-star staff at this time. Staff, please stand and remain standing until I call your name. Ms. Savacha, our online coordinator. Mr. Mike Busi, our Safe Ed. Mr. Ron Kreft, our Safe Ed. Mr. John Kirkin, our Safe Ed. Mr. Dylan Vanderson, our Building Substitute. Ms. Leah Korzensky, our School Resource Officer. Mrs. Karen Bartnowak, our Inspire Mentor and online teacher. Ms. Vicki Petronas, our Special Ed Teacher Consultant. Dr. Chrissy Tepelewski, our Online Special Ed Teacher Consultant. Mrs. Danielle Clippard, our Career Facilitator. Miss Trina Patrick, our administrator mentee. Miss Crystal Geiser, our social worker. Mr. Derek Muhammad Ali, our counselor. Mrs. Lori Uchwell Hollier, our administrative assistant. Miss Krista Gentilini, our math and science teacher. Miss Michelle Leonard, our math and science teacher. Mr. Eric Provaco, our art and career teacher. Mr. Eric Flessa, our English and woodshop teacher. And Mr. Jeff Rainwater, our English and social studies teacher. This is your all-star team and family of TCC. Please be seated. I would also like to take a moment to thank Dr. Rich Machewski, our superintendent, who could not be here tonight, and those who are here with us, Mrs. Christine DiPilato, our assistant superintendent for secondary education, Ms. Kendra Montante, our director of communications and strategic initiatives. Thank you for your unwavering support and understanding of the needs of our students and staff. Next, I would like to introduce our Board of Education and thank them for their continuous support and dedication to our school. Mr. Carl Schmidt, Board President. Ms. Vital Ane, Board Vice President. Mr. Gary Hoff, Board Secretary. Dr. Nancy Philippart, Board Trustee and our Women of Tomorrow mentor. And Dr. Nicole Wilson, Board Trustee. Graduates, I remember the first time many of you walked into TCC for a tour and feeling overwhelmed. We talked about your why and what brought you here, whether it be medical, travel hockey, dance, loss of credits, anxiety, or feeling you were not given a fair chance. We discussed your needs and dreams for the future. We created one plan, then shifted to a new one, and maybe even another plan. However, as a team, we figured out how you would succeed and persevere. Over the past few years, you have grown, learned, and transformed into ways you perhaps couldn't have imagined. This transformation wasn't solely the result of your hard work and dedication, although those are certainly important. It was also the result of belief. In education, we talk about allowing students' voices to drive learning. I can proudly say that this graduating class of 2024 has surpassed this vision. You created a greenhouse and garden in our human impact of the environment class with Miss Leonard. I enjoyed hearing about Anna's love for caring for worms, yes, worms, Lily's passion for isopods, and Emma leading our first ever plant sale. Abby, driven by her passion for working with students with autism, exploring her future career path by interviewing teachers, shadowing them, and then supporting students in classrooms at Baker Middle School. Our woodshop class with Mr. Flessa beautified our school offices. Dylan, in particular, was diligent in putting my office together last year, and Brendan McCann helping paint the walls, keeping the work a surprise. Ms. Gentilini's class, creating micro businesses in business math and algebra 2, Diego, Alexi, Jaden Denson, met with me multiple times at the start of the year to share their goals and hopes for the school. Brendan Ellis creating our You Belong logo, which everyone in the entire school wears with pride. And the Tees Creation team pressed each shirt with care. Bella and Brianna worked hard to create a student-directed yearbook for the first time in many years with the support of Ms. Geiser. Sophia approached me with the idea that seniors wanted a prom held at a venue. Adora, Bella, Sophia, and Alexi helped decorate, and we had a wonderful night celebrating these seniors at our first off-site prom. Many students Many students picking where their artwork is displayed throughout our building, and one of my very favorites from Julie, hanging in our wall that is untitled at the moment. Kieran initiating and creating our first book club ever. We have embraced you, but you have embraced each other as well. You look out for one another and offer encouragement when needed. This class of 2024 will surpass their peers because they know how to persevere, get back up, and push harder. They know how to ask for help when they don't understand, and they look out for one another in a way I've never seen before. When we were at Tree Runners, and I was terrified getting through the course, Wyatt and some others saw my fear and encouraged me to look straight ahead, take one step at a time. Tegan, in our little chat sessions, would let me know if someone was feeling down, suggesting I check on them. This sense of community is truly remarkable. All of our online travel hockey students, like Noah and Daniel, that have been proactive in ensuring all classes are NCAA approved for all. Students organizing a movie premiere, thrilled about it despite only knowing the title. I remember seeing Raina, Ruby, and Bella with Mr. Cravaco at the Troy Community Center, feeling proud as they viewed their work on display with other students there to celebrate. Watching Nick explore his passion for becoming a nurse at OSTC has been inspiring. Some of you wrote some memories that you have and will forever remember with our staff. One, the Danny Dinkle story, and life lessons with Mr. Flessa. Hanging out with staff after school, chatting about life. Every staff member's willingness to talk, understand, and their patience. The TCC movie premiere, career class interviews, Jake joking around with me, Mr. Rainwater playing his music, teaching us how to play the guitar, and jamming with him. Staff attending your events on weekends or evenings, Mr. Vanderson helping you get to the finish line, and Mr. Moe always ready to listen. Here are also some memories that you shared that you will share with you forever with each other. Building meaningful connections with other students, playing basketball outside at lunch, having an AP class, exploring careers with your friends, working on projects and enjoying school with friends, creating a school store, having and participating in the arts, beats, and treats, sitting on the bus watching the clips, class discussion with different opinions and perspectives, our field trips, and watching everyone grow. Together, we have built a culture where we are inclusive and everyone belongs. This is why we will always be family. In closing, I want to leave you with this thought. The power of believing is limitless. It is the potential to change lives, transform communities, and shape the world. As you embark on your new journey, let belief be your guiding light. Believe in yourselves, in your dreams, and in the incredible impact you can make on the world. We are proud of you and excited for the future that lies ahead. Go forth with confidence, courage, and unwavering belief that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Congratulations, class of 2024. At this time, I would like to welcome Troy School District's Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Christine DiPilato.
Good evening, esteemed faculty, proud families, and of course, the extraordinary class of 2024. I am honored and incredibly excited to be here giving my first graduation speech for the Troy School District. In 2019, our district made a significant investment in our future by purchasing and renovating a new building for TCCHS. Despite the challenges brought on by the pandemic, we opened the new TCCHS in 2020, embarking on a journey together during an unprecedented time. Over the course of the last 4 years, you, class of 2024, have redefined what it means to be a student at TCCHS. You have built a community and welcomed others into your school time and again. Your contributions have been nothing short of remarkable. You raised money for family in need during the holidays. You celebrated student artists and performers through Arts, Beats, and Treats, and you even hosted, as Ms. Milanoff mentioned, TCCHS's very first prom. You navigated the complexities of virtual classes. You shared in-person experiences with your classmates, from playing basketball on the back of a souped-up art studio van to completely remodeling Miss M's office with your own creativity. You have left your mark in countless ways. You handmade t-shirts displaying your school spirit, and many of you enrolled in TCCHS's very first AP courses. You created the school's inaugural yearbook, and you declared that TCCHS could do anything that any other high school could do. And you continue to redefine what is possible every single day. Class of 2024, you have set TCCHS on a new trajectory, and for that, I am immensely proud and so incredibly grateful. Throughout your journey, I've had the pleasure of learning from many of you. Tegan Pruitt served as an incredible student representative on the Board of Education. Each month, he provided our community with insight into the wonderful things happening at TCCHS. Over the last few years, many of your classmates have shared reflections with me. One student told me, "I loved the first high school that I attended in Troy, but I had so much anxiety that I would do anything I could to avoid it. I would get behind in schoolwork, and I would hate myself for that. But here at TCCHS, I've broken that cycle. When I arrived, it was instantly comforting. I'm going to miss this place." Another classmate shared, "I used to think just go to school and get it done. Now I think that school is more than just about class. It's the relationships we have with our teachers and our classmates." And another shared, "The teachers really, really care about us. They know everything about the students. I came one day in person, and I have loved it ever since." I know that your experiences at TCCHS have been guided by the incredible staff that sits behind me and in front of me. These educators are some of the best that I know. So please join me in recognizing them for all of their hard work and dedication. To the class of 2024, you have shown resilience, creativity, and an unwavering spirit. You have set an example for future classes to follow, and I have no doubt that you will continue to make a positive impact wherever you go. As you step into the next chapter of your lives, carry forward the lessons you've learned, the friendships you've made, and the spirit of community that you've fostered. You have not only met but exceeded the expectations set before you. You have embraced the opportunities offered by our college and career programs. You've pursued your passions. You've demonstrated an unyielding commitment to your education and your future careers. You've shown us that success is not defined solely by academic achievements, but also by the character and integrity in which you use to pursue your goals. As you stand on the brink of this new chapter, I encourage you to carry forward the lessons you've learned here. Continue to be curious, to ask questions, to seek out new experiences. Remember that learning doesn't stop at graduation. It is a lifelong journey. Remember the challenges that come your way with the same resilience and determination that you've used at TCCHS. Take pride in your accomplishments, but also take a moment to thank those who have supported you along the way. Your family, your friends, your teachers, and your mentors. They have been your foundation, your cheerleaders, and your guiding light. As you step into the future, whether you're heading to college, starting a career, or exploring other paths, know that you are well prepared. The skills and knowledge you've gained at TCCHS are tools that will serve you well in your endeavors. Trust your abilities, believe in your dreams, and always strive to make a positive impact on the world around you. Class of 2024, you are the pioneers of the new TCCHS. Your legacy will inspire future students for years to come. When I think about your class, I think about magic. The Britannica Dictionary defines magic as the power to make impossible things happen. With that in mind, I wish you congratulations on your remarkable achievements. Go forth with confidence, courage, and make some magic wherever you go. Congratulations. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the board of the Troy School Board of Education, Mr. Carl Schmidt.
you, Christine. So many things she said I wanted to say. So I have a script here. There are a couple of things I was going to go off script on, but I think I'll stick to my script because this isn't about me, it's about you. So I want to start with a quick introduction for those who don't know me. Some of you I have met. Did any of you participate in my conversations with classes last spring about the types of education you like, what worked, what didn't work? Okay, I've got some head nodding there, either falling asleep or they're agreeing. Okay, and then also, was anyone subjected to my talk about cover letters and resumes? Anybody? Yeah, okay. And some of you even had to interview with me, which is even more painful. So anyway, thank you for that. So those of you who have met me before, I always start with what is a Board of Education member so that you understand that. But for the rest of you, it's very simple. If you don't know what a Board of Education is, or a Board of Education trustee is, the short answer is we're a group of 7 adults who are elected by the people of Troy to worry about you and help our superintendent and his fantastic crew deliver everything you need to succeed during your years in the Troy School District. I was first elected to this post 13 years ago when you were in kindergarten. So I'm feeling really old this year, but it's also really exciting to be able to see you come through here because you may not know me, but I've been worrying about you since you were this big, believe it or not. And for this group especially, I have to go back to 2019. You know, when I'll go back to 2013 first. I am going off script. Sorry, Miss M. In 2013, when I was, in 2011 when I was elected. The first thing you do as a new trustee is you walk through all the buildings. So you walk through 24 buildings in this district to kind of see and introduce. And I remember walking through Niles, which is where TCCHS was at the time. And I remember being simultaneously awed by the staff and appalled by the building. And thinking, we can't do this. This is terrible. This is like, lose all hope, all ye who enter here when you walk into the building. And so fast forward to 2018, we start talking about remodel or tearing down part of Niles and trying to build, and we were looking at astronomical building costs. We didn't know what to do, and in 2019, Rick West, who is our CFO, came up with this idea and said, there's this ITT building over there that is open that we might be able to buy and remodel. And I remember walking through your building with cobwebs and like papers left over from the college that was there before. It was dark, it was dingy, and I had Mr. Turner with me who's going, and we could put a fish tank right here. So as he's going through and laying it out, and it was really exciting at the time because it was like, okay, we can get kids into this building faster, we can give them more space for less money, we can put the money into really making the space cool. But then what was the coolest thing, and I was sitting in your Arts, Beats, and Treats a couple of weeks ago and walking through and looking at your artwork, and I thought, these graduates this year are like the buyers of an old house. My wife and I purchased multiple houses and fixed them up. And when you move into a house, it's like, yeah, you kind of get an idea what it is, right? But then it takes you 2 or 3 years to make the house your own. And your class has made that space your own. The adults haven't done it, you've done it. And that's been from somebody in my position where, we're seeing you more than you're seeing us. It's really exciting. So just want to say thank you for that because you really have transformed that space. And it's you, the students, who have really driven that process. So thank you for that. All right, now I'll get back on my script. Sorry. I get really excited when I see you. Okay, so anyway, because school board trustees like me spend many nights with people yelling at us and fighting about budget and all the other stuff, they give me 3 minutes in front of you every year. So I thank you for that time. So today I want to talk to you about 2 things. I want to talk to you about blessings and burdens. I'm a member of St. Anastasia Church here in Troy, and every year the parish has a theme for Advent. For my non-Christian friends out there, Advent's a 4-week season before Christmas, and you're called to prepare and reflect during those 4 weeks. Anyway, about 7 years ago, the theme for Advent was I'm blessed. And my parish handed out little buttons that said that. You could put it on your coat or whatever, and I pinned one on my jacket. Now, at the time, my wife and I had a 13-year-old foster son, and I harassed him for that full 4 weeks with a button. I would just, every time I put my jacket on, I'd say, look, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Do you know why I'm blessed? And he'd roll his eyes and he'd go, because I'm in your life. And I'd say, exactly. And then he'd smile. So fast forward today, I'm going to come back to that. So now I volunteer with foster youth teens who are overseen by Oakland County Court. And I have a team that I've been working with for about a year now who has a very challenging relationship with his mom. She lost her parental rights, so he can't live with her, but they still have a relationship, and he can talk to her on the phone. And when she calls him, she has this tendency to really pound on him about all the troubles and problems that she feels that he's brought on her. And I'm not going to lie, he's been into some serious trouble, and he's had some issues, definitely, but he's a good kid. And what's very clear to me is scolding and yelling and pounding on him isn't helping anything as we go through. And sometimes these conversations really get him down. And I was visiting him a couple weeks ago, and I could tell that he'd just been on the phone with his mom, and he was kind of down. He had this black cloud over his head. And I remembered that button from all those years ago. And so I looked at him and I said, "Do you think you're a blessing or a burden?" And he said, "I don't really know." And I mean, that's an honest answer, right? But it's one that made me sad and it made me worried for him. And I immediately reassured him that he was a blessing in my life and that he brought me great joy. And I started wondering, though, is that a question that many of my graduates this year might struggle to answer at a time? You know, I started thinking back when I was a parent of teens, I always wanted them to do their best, and I put what I thought was positive pressure on them. You all know about positive pressure from your parents, right? So when my kids heard things like, "Chelsea, it says on Schoology that you're missing 419 assignments in social studies," and she'd say, I don't know about that. And then I'd pull her backpack and go, "Okay, here's one of them right here. I think maybe," I'm sure that never happened to any of you as you went through, but I can't help but thinking that some part of my kids were wondering, did I view them as a burden that I would be relieved of when they left home? So I'm a market researcher by trade. That's what I do for a living. So I have a red pen. Let's do a poll. So my graduates, you don't get to vote. Everybody on the stage, everybody else out here, you get to vote. So everyone else out there, here's my question. Let's see how you think about the graduate you came here today to honor. If you view that graduate as a burden and you only came today out of some sense of obligation, let me hear you say, "Boo!" Okay, all right. All right, that's one. We got one in that column. Okay, that's good. Okay, now, I like the honesty. I got to be honest. So, okay. Now, if you're here because one or more of these beautiful, bright young people have been and always will be a phenomenal blessing to you and to the world, let me hear you cheer. Okay. So that's everybody else. Okay, now they're all smug down here. You should see their faces. They're all smug. So, okay, my little blessings, I want you to remember that other people have identified you as such. So it's not up to you to decide your value, because your value has just been confirmed by this massive crowd. So the first thing I hope you remember from this little chat of mine, never forget that value. There may be a dark day in the future when you doubt your own value, and if that ever happens, I want you to remember today. And go back to the people who cheered you in this audience and on this stage, because we will always, always hold you and remind you of your tremendous value until you can once again feel that high worth in yourself. So don't ever forget that. The second thing is a little more fun. I want you to remember, and this is a bigger challenge, and it's your final assignment by me, your Board of Education president. So if you're a blessing, you're called to bless others. You can't just hold all that goodness inside you like a giant peanut M&M. Take your talents, take your joy, take your lovely, funny, caring selves, the hawking I heard for baked goods, the singing at the stage, the beautiful paintings that surrounded the hallways the other. Take all those amazing gifts, and I want you to find a way to share those amazing gifts with future classmates, coworkers, and especially people you'll meet, like my current foster friend. People have no reason to even expect that from you. Every year I stand up here and I have hope for the future, because I know that young Troy graduates like you are going to make a positive difference in the lives of other people. In fact, whenever I have a crabby adult who complains to me about kids these days, I always say, "You've never met a Troy kid." Our kids are amazing, and I honestly believe that. So congratulations, you amazing graduating TCCHS blessings of 2024. Go make the world better for the rest of us. Keep making us proud of you. Thank you.
Good evening. It is truly my honor and privilege to introduce to you one of our many blessings that I see in front of us today. Our first graduate speaker is truly a Renaissance man. And by definition, that is someone who's acquired profound knowledge or proficiency in more than one area of study and in all things Star Wars. Where is he? He is a scholar of the First Order, graduating magna cum laude. He's an accomplished musician and an outstanding artist, and he wields his guitar and his paintbrush as skillfully as a Jedi would his lightsaber. It is my honor and my privilege to introduce Master Joseph Andrade.
Hello there. To everyone who knows me, you know I'm not the person who wants to be here giving a speech, but yet I'm giving one. Through my past years at Troy College and Career High School, I've learned not only academically, but I've learned socially, I've learned about life lessons, and perhaps most importantly, I've learned about myself. When I first came to TCC, I was shy, quiet, and tried to hide my nerdiness about Star Wars. But unfortunately, my Star Wars shirts didn't help me much. Not only did people start talking to me about Star Wars, but each of the teachers came and got to know me, even if I didn't have their class. This had never happened at any other school I had been at before, and quickly showed me this place was different. From sitting in circle time half the day to joining guitar club, I very soon felt like I belonged. After 2 years, I saw growth everywhere and in everyone except in myself. I was never any good at making friends, but I knew for my senior year, I had to try. It took a while, but I finally had succeeded in creating some very strong friendships. And it is those friendships with students and teachers that make me mean every word when I say this. I'm going to miss this place. Of course, I never expected to say that at any other school because all I wanted to do was leave. But I have enjoyed getting to walk into class every morning and enjoy a nice cup of reasonably hot coffee while we talk about the idea of perfection. After some extremely meaningful and interesting conversations, we came to the conclusion that perfection is much like beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. And I realized that fit this school perfectly. This school demonstrates perfection in the way that each student is here before us today. It demonstrates perfection in the way that each student is able to learn in their own respective ways. And it showed me perfection in the way it helped me grow and change. I wouldn't be standing here saying this if it weren't for the teachers, staff, friends, and family that all helped me along my journey. Thank you. Thank you for always having my back. Thank you for believing in me even when I didn't. And thank you for truly caring. I am beyond honored to be graduating in this class alongside some amazing friends. The 3 years I've been here have been the best in my life, and I'm sad to see them go. So, to the graduating class of 24, let's make these next few years even better than the ones we've had here. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Joe. Our next speaker is from the Troy Intersect Virtual Program. In the 2 years I've worked with this student, I have seen him rise from an academic low coming out of COVID years to maximizing every opportunity available to him, including taking extra classes, AP classes, and college classes. In my 7 years with the Troy School District, I have never seen someone accomplish so much in such a short amount of time. Please join me in welcoming Amir Hawkins to the stage.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Amir Hawkins. I want to share with you my journey to possibly inspire. I've taken many steps I hadn't previously thought possible toward my future. Through the help of my support, I was able to find pathways that were new to me, but extremely helpful in my journey to dentistry. Through the beginning of high school for me was not the most pleasant experience. Beginning in high school of 2021, the start of my high school experience was through a computer screen. I'm sure many of you know how difficult this can be just starting out because of the communication barriers. My first year did not end on a high note, but instead was the start of a new side of me. Going into the next year, I wanted the ability to explore my options, as I didn't really know what I wanted to do going into my future. I did, however, know that I wanted to go into healthcare. As someone who has experienced the challenge of health workers through close encounters, I wanted to be somebody that others could count on for quality care. I knew this would require exemplary grades. This led me to seek help from my counselors, which informed me of the ability to take additional classes. This would not only allow me to retake previous classes, but also excel further in school. Moreover, once I was on pace and I decided I wanted to progress further, I inquired with Ms. Savacha regarding dual enrollment. She allowed me to do so after a semester proving to her that I could not just handle, but perform under such pressure. Presently, I am on track to graduate college early as a result of my high school experience. Moving on, in preparation of my pursuit to a field in healthcare, I sought out a shadowing experience with a well-known dentist. I informed him of my hesitance to become a doctor due to time consumption. To this he replied, "Just think if you don't do the schooling. Time is going to pass by anyway." This changed my perspective and led me to commit to becoming a dentist. During my time at this office, I progressed and excelled in many aspects of dentistry, but the thing that made it most memorable was the connection to the patients and their words of encouragement. Saying things like, "Thank you for your kindness," and "I can't wait until I can be your patient." Things like this further solidified my affinity. All this to say, don't let time be the barrier from reaching your potential. Allow that time to instead foster growth and making yourself better. If life has taught me anything thus far, it's not to allow time to pass you by without getting something from it. Class of 2024, we finally made it. I would like to encourage you to progress in whatever makes you happy, especially if you can make others happy in the process. Showing acts of kindness is something that I strive to do even on cloudy days, and I can't wait for all the smiles I produce in my career. Thank you all for your time, and good night.
Good evening, everyone. I am honored to introduce a remarkable student of mine whom I met 2 years ago when she first arrived at TCCHS. This student's journey at TCCHS is a testament to her resilience and determination. Despite facing significant challenges, she found solace and support in my classroom, particularly with Georgia, our therapy dog. Through her perseverance, not only did she overcome her anxiety, but also flourished academically, demonstrating remarkable growth and self-advocacy. Her story highlights the importance of compassion and understanding environments in schools where students can find strength and encouragement to succeed. I would like to introduce to you Olivia August Smith.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I'd like to express just how utterly amazing this is. If you had told me 2 years ago that I would be giving a speech in front of this many people, I would not believe you, no matter how cliche that sounds. When I first came to TCC, I was shy and completely unmotivated. It took a lot for me to come out of my shell, but when I did, I realized I was surrounded by people who loved me. People who saw who I was and chose me not despite it, but because of it. I finally found a place I wanted to be and people I wanted to surround myself with. I've changed so much these past couple of years and come so far. I'm surrounded by a family, one not related to me, but certainly just as meaningful. I am where I am today because of the support I've received from my peers and teachers. They have made me feel loved and welcomed. Because of this, I have made it my mission to give back and to help others feel the way I do. I always try to be a friend to anyone who needs one, and I lead with empathy and kindness, as anyone should. I believe a lot of us at TCC were brought here for similar reasons, and it's important to show compassion and understanding for one another. You never know what someone is struggling with. I'd like to express how proud I am of all my friends and classmates. You have persevered through high school and made it to the finish line. You pushed through all your hardships, and you did it. I'm so proud of you, and I want you to remember that you can do hard things. Because I know this, because I've seen you all do it. Whether that's coming out of your shell like me, planning and raising money for a whole entire prom, graduating when you thought you couldn't do it, or just being unapologetically yourself. The list goes on. No matter what it is you did it. And there are many people here who are proud of you.
In my second week at Troy College and Career High School, Tegan Pruitt made an appointment with the then principal and volunteered to give an evaluation of my performance. They're all laughing. He told him I did not belong there, that I should go back to Athens, or better yet, be fired. That same week, I made a similar appointment with the same principal where I said if students were going to be as difficult as Tegan Pruitt, this was going to be a very long year. Fast forward 3 years, and I had the very distinct honor to know this young man and for our relationship to dramatically change. Tegan was the force behind my honor to win High School Teacher of the Year here in Troy. And it was my great honor to hand him a scholarship from the Troy Education Association, honoring his great work. And again, my honor to announce and to bring him up here today to give our last student presentation. In a few weeks, he will head off to Central Michigan University, where he will follow in the footsteps of all these wonderful people in the field of education. And I cannot wait to call this young man, Mr. Tegan Pruitt, my colleague. Tegan.
Okay. Hello, graduating class of 2024, friends and family alike. Allow me to start from the beginning. It would be impossible to talk about our paths without mentioning COVID. Freshman year, for most of us, was a year we'd like to forget. Starting high school was scary enough, but coupled with the beady camera eyes staring at us every day, it did not help with the transition. For me, I was coming fresh from Havenwick's mental hospital into Athens, where I was promptly told I was never going to succeed there, and was shipped off to the old Niles. This story is not unique. Many students at TCC have been told this exact sentence, many of which are sitting before you here today, ready to graduate. Like my first day at TCC, every student is asked about their story. We are immediately given a voice. My story started with our old principal, Mr. Turner. He was a mentor and father figure to me and my brother throughout the rough COVID years. After hearing my story, he told me this is my chance to prove them wrong. And by them, he was referring to the counselors at Athens, the bullies from middle school. And even my own self-doubts. From day one at Troy College and Career High School, I knew it was the right place for me. I started every day in the husk of the school with around 10 NC students, learning about Anoli's lizards and Miss Leonard's killer tennis skills. I got to know each staff member directly, as they also got to know me. I knew this wasn't just I knew I wasn't just building a year-long relationship with these teachers. Rather, I was building a story I could carry with me far beyond high school, and one I could share here today. Starting sophomore year was like opening the doors to a new building. There were new faces everywhere, and classes had new peers to talk to. But the newest change was the new guy from Athens, Mr. Flesson. Mr. Flesson and I had quite the introduction, as you've all heard. I owe much of who I am today to his hurtful yet true words. He was the first person to express their frustration with how much potential I was wasting, and got me on the right track to be able to speak to you all today. And for that, I will be forever grateful. Junior year marked the birth of TCC as we know it. With clubs in full swing, and events being planned out by students, it was nothing short of what TCC was intended to be. Truly making us all feel we belonged. From our annual Thanksgiving festival to our first ever Arts Beats and Treats, there is nowhere you could look without seeing student involvement. And now for senior year, a year chocked full of memories. Classes dedicated to planning our futures, running businesses, and catching runaway greenhouses. Pouring our feelings out into poems, there was never a dull moment. And who can forget the first ever TCC prom? A testament to the unyielding drive each one of us possesses. I dragged my feet into TCC, a troubled young man who never really cared about school. But after 4 amazing years at TCC, I'm ready to leave with a confident step as a young man each teacher here helped mold. I have said that TCC is the greatest secret in Troy since day one, and I still believe this to be true today. I'm so lucky to have called you all my peers over the past 4 years. Almost done. And I only wish you could have gotten here sooner. I want to thank you all for your support you've given me, and I want to thank you all your support you have given us over the past 4 years. Congratulations, TCC class of 2024. The finish line is here, and I'm happy to cross it with you all today.
Thank you, Tegan, and to all of our graduate speakers. Next, we have the exciting event of the presentation of the diplomas to this year's graduates, which will be President of the Troy School Board, Mr. Carl Schmidt, assisted by Mr. Derek Muhammad Ali, our counselor.
Tegan Carter Pruitt. Ruby Isabella Srock. Justin Allen Wyzorek. Jaden Michael Denson. Abby Noelle Marie Adams. Lily Sophia Rose McLaren. Masara Matham Talal. Isabella Marie Lazarus. Yan Emma Chen. Danielle Fuad Abyss. Rosaria Lishon Delois Price. Olivia August Grace Smith. Juno Pasternak. Kieran Pulford. Sophia Elizabeth Cox. Sophie Elizabeth Chase. Santino Toriano Wright Donaldson. Xavier Dean Townsend. Jacob Ryan Whitcomb. Ayana Faith Pittman. Aiden Gerald Weiss. Amir Gregory Ivan Hawkins. Camille Claudia Eatman. Lily Marie Chapman. Caitlin Ariana Nicole Majeski. Aurora Iris Sturett. Anna Leah Rea. Sophia Isabella Lully. Julie Anna Young. Faith Celine Thomas. Linda Saidi. Brianna Noel Kitchen. Joseph Cole Andrade. Avery Joshua Dinkle. Dylan Thomas Essenmacher. Maximilian Oleg Lorncel. Michael Roderick Long. Joshua Romero Valiente. Salai Za Lian Chu. Alex Raiden Marshall. Lily Clark. Raina Jade Klein. Alexi Marie Papadelis. Aiden Tristan Majeski. Michael Brandon Barton. Diego Tristan Bermudez. Wyatt Stephen Schultz. Brendan James McCann. Noah Alexander Ziski. Nicholas Bradley Ehrlich. Muhammad Kishawi. Brandon David Ellis. Romeo Kalai. Christian Palushai. And I guess we're concluded.
Congratulations, class of 2024. At this time, I would like to introduce Ruby Chirac for the presentation of the graduates. She has really embraced and flourished in our building. I can only imagine what she will accomplish at Alma College. Ruby, take us away to make our class of 2024 the newest TCC alumni.
Good evening, everybody. I promise I'll keep this short and sweet so we can go out and celebrate and eat food. Yes. I love you, Abby. If I could have all my fellow graduates join me in standing as I lead us through the moment that we've all been waiting for. This is the last part of the ceremony and our final moments as high school students. The act of the tassel turn symbolizes our official transition from students to graduates, the end of one part of our lives and the beginning of the next. Now, if you'll please take your tassel and move it from your right side of your cap over to the left. I love you all, and I'm very honored to be the first to present you all as the graduated class of 2024.